Hello, magical people. Hope everybody's doing well. My name's Meg Moonbeam, and welcome back to the Daily Astro Show here on the Meg Moonbeam and Beyond Mystic YouTube, Rumble, and X channels. Going to be sharing with you guys our Western astrological horoscope for Friday, May 16th, going into Sunday, May 18th. And we've got a lot going on, as I'm going to be sharing with you guys. So, hope you're all doing well, feeling fine. It's a little bit electric, weird energy in the air, Sun conjunct Uranus. We're going to get into it. Chrissy says, Happy Friday. Yes, happy Friday, everybody. You know, I was watching JC and Janine's public Beyond the News episode on Rumble last night, and they started off the show talking about how this clip of some other truther dude talking about how everything feels weird and kind of off at the moment, and like holidays don't feel the same way, time doesn't feel the same way, and I've definitely been feeling that very intensely. Let me know if any of you guys are also feeling like that. It just feels like things are really trippy and kind of weird, and like we're in an in-between time right now. So let me know, is that just me as a crazy Scorpio or anybody else feeling that? Linda says Gemini season is right around the corner. It starts Tuesday. Meg said lighter aspects begin then. Yes, I cannot wait. I cannot wait until Gemini season. Oh my gosh, we definitely have way lighter aspects. So please remember, you guys, to like, share, and subscribe to the Meg Moonbeam and Beyond Mystic channels. And if you'd like to have a personal astrology reading with me, those are available over at consultations.beyondmystic.net. Link in the description box below. And I'm fully booked out at the moment until October 2025 if you'd like to have a one-on-one reading with me. And also check out Carla at Ascension Organites has these beautiful new Beyond Mystic and Sending Ravens natural calendars available at Ascension Organites. You can use code Beyond Mystic all in one word to get 10% off. Stephanie says, feeling the void. Yeah, that's what that's a really good word to use. It feels like we're in a void. I'm hearing spirits say the word the in between. Yeah, Leah says, I think a lot of people are feeling it. We are for sure over here. Vicky, time always runs slow for me. Interesting. Yeah. Well, as we go into this weekend, you guys, it's going to be a little bit weirder. Okay. So thank God we are at the end of this Taurus season 2025. We're about to be in Gemini season, which is going to be a lot lighter, but we're going to end this with a little bit of a bang. Okay. It's going to be a little bit even more weird because we're going to have on Saturday exact Sun conjunct Uranus on the same day as Mercury in square to Mars. So I'm hearing the word over and over. It's electric. There's an electricity energy in the air. Uranus, of course, rules electricity, technology, shocks, surprises, weirdness, innovation, the future. This is a weekend with this Sun conjunct Uranus where it's going to be our last Sun conjunct Uranus with Uranus at fall in Taurus. There's instability being highlighted. And maybe that's why I was feeling guided to start off with what struck me from yesterday's Beyond the News. For many of us, it feels weird right now. The energy is off. Things are changing. We're entering a totally new realm, a totally new dimension, a totally new way of life. And there's a lot of unknowns, and it's trusting in that process. So as we go into this weekend, just remember to trust the process, trust the plan, trust your heart, trust yourself. Okay. We don't have any exact aspects on Friday, which is today as I'm filming this video. We've got the moon in Capricorn, moon at detriment in Capricorn in a square to Venus. So today can be a little bit of with that moon in Capricorn, it is a good day today to get some things done. We can also be realizing like some reality checks about some things, some harsh reality checks with the moon in Capricorn. I'm getting that this weekend, not necessarily that anything bad or negative is gonna happen, but it feels like we might be smackrolled, to use that term, like smackrolled in different aspects where we need a reality check or our energy needs a shift to move forward into the future. A really overarching theme with this weekend, I can't believe I didn't even mention this yet, you guys, is we are going to be having Jupiter in an exact square to the nodes exact on Sunday, May 18th. So Jupiter will be exactly square the north node and the south node. And even though that's exact on Sunday, it's going to be a really big influence for us the next 2 weeks. And, we've been going through that Jupiter in Gemini transit, Jupiter at detriment in Gemini. Many of the planets lately in places they don't like to be. Soon they're going to move into more places that they like to be, which is exciting. But that Jupiter in Gemini transit has been highlighting our communication, common sense, truth, local communities. And it's been a little bit of an information overload, to be honest with you guys, ever since May of last year. Total information overload. And Jupiter in square to the nodes, as the planet of expansion, Jupiter and square aspects are creative tension points. Okay, Herm Miller says, maybe the normies will be smackled. Yeah, this is where I want you guys to be mindful this weekend. Okay, because even though we have Jupiter in Gemini, which is expanding truth and facts and information coming out to the forefront, that Jupiter in Gemini is in a square right now, exact this weekend on Sunday, to the nodes, which the North Node represents our higher purpose, what's in alignment for us to be focusing on. The South Node is the point of release and the past and past lives and letting go. So with Jupiter and Gemini in a square to the nodes, I actually feel like as we go into this weekend, we need to be very mindful of information and actual misinformation. Like information that may be coming out, which may look true and factual, but it's not actually true and factual. And in regards to what? Okay, we need to look at the North Node in the sign of Pisces and the South Node in the sign of Virgo. This is the health axis. Okay, so be really mindful about any breaking news, shocking discoveries, facts coming out, information coming out, social media news around the health industry, around day to day work, Virgo, around spirituality, creativity, rules and regulations, Pisces and Saturn and Pisces conjunct the North Node. There's a lot going on this weekend. Okay, this is a weird weekend with the Sun conjunct Uranus, so expect weirdness, shocks and surprises. It's good for us to do things in a different way. Yes, Herr Miller, discernment. Discernment is very, very important. And actually, my husband Jens is going to be hosting a discernment workshop on the Beyond Mystic Academy this Sunday, the day of Jupiter squaring the nodes, which is kind of perfect. So I'll put the link below. You guys can go check that out and use code 10% off to get, use code MIND10 to get 10% off. Okay. But yeah, one way we can work with it, which I was about to say before I got cut off by myself, sorry, you guys, speaking in a bunch of different directions, is do things in a different way with this Sun conjunct Uranus and be open to the weirdness. Embrace the weirdness. Okay. Have we been blocking ourselves from an innovative way of moving forward wherever we have the last 10 degrees of Taurus in our charts? Because we've been scared, because we've been uncomfortable, right? See where you have the last 10 degrees of Taurus in your chart? That's where we're going to have this Sun conjunct Uranus at 27 degrees of Taurus. There's a shock, there's a surprise, there's a weird opportunity. There's insights and downloads, there's creativity. Vicky says, embrace it. Yes, definitely embrace it. Linda says, do you still have keto brain, Meg? You seem more settled. Yes, okay, on a different note, I'm a Taurus rising. Okay, so I like my food, I like my comforts. Okay. And I'm on day 4 of doing a keto cleanse, and I'm starting to feel more settled. Thank you for asking, Linda. I'm starting to feel more grounded. The first few days I was freaking feeling weird, wanting to eat some sugar, wanting to have some carbs, but I'm feeling good and I'm happy that I'm sticking through it. So, yeah, Sun conjunct Uranus and Taurus. Taurus is food, farmers, anything that has to do with the earth, nature, weather events. We could see weird weather events. Be mindful going out to nature this weekend of what the weather is going to be. There could be very unexpected changes in the weather. Taurus also rules the financial system, money, resources, things of a physical value. So I think there may be changes to cryptocurrency. Uranus rules cryptocurrency, the financial side of things, but follow your intuition first and foremost. But with that Jupiter and square to the nodes, I'm not going to be making any major decisions financially when it comes to this weekend, or health wise when it comes to this weekend, or just in general. This is a weekend to be ready for the weirdness, pay attention to what comes up, and be in discernment with that Jupiter and square to the nodes. Because there's likely something coming from the media, maybe even something coming from someone that us in the freedom community we've trusted, that might not actually be accurate and real. Okay, so that's going to be important for us to pay attention to. On Sunday, the moon ingresses into Aquarius, and we've got Pluto retrograde conjunct the moon with exact Jupiter and square to the nodes. So this might be, I'm hearing Spirit say, actually an information overload of things that might not actually even be true, of multiple different areas of health, because the nodes are in the health axis, of technology, of AI, of Aquarian ruled things, of cryptocurrency, because the moon is in Aquarius conjunct Pluto. So I feel like this is a weekend of real deal discernment of ourselves, where we're putting our energy, the spaces around us, the media that we're taking in, the people that we listen to, right? Just because someone says something and they have a really cool looking podcast studio doesn't mean that they're telling the truth, doesn't mean that they know what they're talking about, right? The greatest truths come from within and our own intuition. So that's something very important, I think, for us as we go into this weekend, rather. DigiBean, yes, that is our motto at the moment. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. But thank God we're out of the full moon in Scorpio portal. Okay, we've got Pluto retrograde until October 13th. Okay, we can handle it. We survived the Saturn-Pluto conjunction of 2020 in Capricorn at a Capricorn degree. So if we can survive that, and we're still alive, we can survive anything. The energies are going to start getting lighter as we go into Gemini season, which I'm really excited about. So let's pull some tarot cards and see what the universe through the tarot has to share with us as we go into this weekend with Sun conjunct Uranus, Moon conjunct Pluto, Jupiter square the nodes. What do we need to know? Page of Wands. Ooh. Two of Swords. To me, that's a very much discernment card. And Six of Wands. Okay, so two all minor arcana, two wands and one swords. The Page of Wands. Keep your eye on your goals and enjoy every moment. I love how he's standing, that Page of Wands, with a kind of weird looking outfit to us, but probably in the times he was living in, it was very normal to him. With his wand, with his staff, looking forward. The keywords are courage, excitement, free spirit, love of life, enthusiastic discovery. We can have fun through the weirdness. We can have fun through the letting go. We can have fun being in the I don't know. Have fun through it. Have courage through it. Have discernment through it. Yes, DigiBean, be bold, be gold, be bold. And we've got the Two of Swords. This is a very much protection and discernment card. I love how she sits. And that might even be something like literally we could do yoga or meditation this weekend where we're doing her pose. Right? I don't know about you guys, but a lot of the times when I do meditation or when I do chanting, I'll go I won't just always like sit there in the normal meditation pose. I'll do different poses of kind of like strengthening your energy, and I feel like that Two of Swords lady is showing us a pose we can do energetically for our physical, emotional, mental, spiritual levels of protection and being in discernment. By actually doing that pose, I feel like it'll help us be in discernment. Or if we hear information and we don't know if it's true or not, do that pose and see how you feel with the information. So she's saying listening to your inner voice and protection. And the Six of Wands. This is a victory card. I love this card. Love, love, love. This is one of my absolute most favorite tarot cards. You have earned every one of your successes, progress, confidence, public recognition, triumph. So whenever I get this, I feel like we're on the right track. And there's things actually to celebrate, and we're continuing the journey of self-discovery. We're continuing the journey of self-mastery. It never freaking ends. Right, you guys? It never freaking ends. When I first had like my starseed awakening in 2011, 2012, when Pluto was exactly conjunct my moon in Capricorn, and I was on this spiritual high. I met my first spiritual community. I started working at a spiritual store. I was like on this spiritual high. And when I first started that really intense spiritual awakening journey, I thought, oh, there's going to be a point where I'm done all this work and I'm feeling good. And I'm just always feeling good and everything's perfect. And I've come to learn that that's not the case. That's airy fairy thinking, right? There's always work to be done. We are always mastering ourselves to another level. There's always self-development. So it's not about a destination, it's about the journey, which is a generic saying, but it's very true. And ooh, our bonus card for the weekend is the Hierophant, the spiritual teacher. Understand your beliefs, values, and boundaries. Teaching, morality, education, divine wisdom, kindness, tradition. The wisdom comes from you. This weekend is wanting us to connect to our own intuition, our own wisdom, to notice the feedback of others, to notice the information coming in, but making decisions and beliefs based on you and your own inner Hierophant, your own inner higher self, spiritual advisor, right? Powerful stuff, you guys. It's our last weekend of Taurus season 2025. And I'll see you guys all on Monday for the next Daily Astro Show. Before I finish up, want to mention that Coco is going to be live for her Coco show over on the Beyond Mystic Rumble and X channel. So that's going to be live in just a few minutes after I'm done this at 1 p.m. Eastern. So you can go join Coco over there if you'd like. Excuse me. And this weekend on the Beyond Mystic channels, we've of course got our lovely Ashala doing her Psychic Tarot show, 4 p.m. on Saturday. I'll be doing my Beyond Astro weekly forecast at 6 p.m. on Sunday. And again, Jens is going to be doing his live discernment workshop on the Beyond Mystic Academy. Really, really excited for that. So you can go check that out. Link will be below. And I love you all so, so much. I'm sending so much cosmic love your way. Happy Sun conjunct Uranus. Happy Jupiter square the nodes, even though that'll be a little bit challenging. It's going to help us with our discernment and energy levels. And I'll see you guys on the other side. Bye, everybody.